I became involved with AIR when I met Tricia at an event where she was explaining about therapy dogs and companion animals and service animals and what the differences were. And at that time I had just lost my shepherd mix, who I was very attached to. And Trish was going to help me find a dog, and maybe I was going to become one of the special people who work with an AIR dog. But the dog that she brought to me I was allergic to. And so eventually, a few months later, I found my own little guy at a local rescue. And so we together have been taking lessons with Trish, and right now we're in therapy training dog class, and I hope we can become a team, and so become involved with AIR in that capacity. AIR's mission is important to me because unfortunately I've had a fair amount of experience with people who have completed suicide. The first was my best friend's brother. I didn't know that when we were good friends, that their father was dying when we were in 6th grade. I didn't know that. Looking back, I can see that there was a reason why Eddie wrote in my autograph album that year, "A friend in need is a friend indeed." He was, we were close friends all the time growing up, although his sister was my better friend. In junior high, we were both socially immature. He needed a date to take to a special event, and he came to my house with a corsage, and there's this picture of me with this horrendous blue makeup all up to my eyebrows and this little blue dress and my hair in a perfect flip. And we went to this event, and we didn't really want to be dancing and doing all of these grown-up things that the other kids were doing, so we found the gym and played basketball instead. And Eddie became the valedictorian of our high school class. He was obviously was just very, very talented, very bright. He was the editor of our school paper. He went on to an Ivy League school. He was so highly respected. And I don't know what happened. I really don't. But I did see him. I happened to run into him just the week before he completed suicide. And looking back now, I can remember that he was so impressed with what I was doing. We met on the train coming home from our jobs in New York, and he was so impressed with what I was doing and so not impressed with what he was doing. And I remember thinking, Eddie's never thought that I was like more competent than he was. So anyway, that sort of haunts me looking back, that I didn't pick up on that there was a problem. Of course, now I can say, how could a 20-year-old have known that? But anyway, it's still those sorts of things stay with you forever, and I would like to do what I can to make sure it doesn't happen to many other people. My specific role with AIR is as yet undetermined. I'm only just starting to get involved with the organization because Albie is only just now possibly becoming an okay therapy dog. But I also have a master's degree in education, and I'm hoping to go to some of the programs and see if I have ideas on how it might be tweaked. I also, back in the day, did some amount of journalism for my college paper, and I thought I'm seeing if I can help with some of the press releases. And I'm hoping to drum up support from some of my friends. Personally, what I'm gaining from my involvement with AIR is an opportunity to express and act on something that I'm passionate about. I am passionate about mental illness and about people feeling free to express that they have these issues, and knowing that there are other people who suffer in the same ways, and knowing that there are places to go to get help. And I'm particularly passionate about society needing to be more concerned about helping kids stay alive. My involvement with AIR has a little bit of a selfish component, to tell you the truth. You know, I am now, at least temporarily, enjoying an empty nest. And there are different things that matter in life that make your life meaningful, and one of them is having meaningful work. And I just think that I will thrive in being involved in this particular meaningful work because it touches on passions. And to tell you the truth, it's bringing me in touch with people who I like, who care about the same things that I care about. I look forward to AIR accomplishing great things. As Eddie wrote in our high school yearbook, but man's reach should exceed his grasp, or what's a heaven for? I dream of a day where mental illness is considered like any other illness. There's no stigma, that people are comfortable saying, hey, I have a mental illness. And people say, oh yeah, me too, or my brother did, or my mother did, or my father does. Trish and I have both had the experience of trying to get help for our sons. I haven't mentioned that my son suffers from mental illness, and he is still with us after 10 years of talking about suicide. And I know that when his particular issue is he has an obsessive compulsive behavior. And I tried to get him into a drug and alcohol rehab because his behavior is really no different from an addictive behavior. And I was told, no, ma'am, I'm sorry, he has to be addicted. And so, I have to say, the parents whose children have those issues have so many more resources at their disposal than those of us whose children suffer from mental illness. And I would like to see that changed. I would like to see society taking this illness just as seriously as taking mental illness just as seriously as they take substance abuse. Because I imagine just as many people die from it. It just doesn't get the same kind of publicity, or maybe more. I'm Holly, and I'm joining AIR, and I'm starting the conversation.